Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about something that affects so many of us, those deep feelings of unworthiness. Feeling like you're not enough, that you're failing, or that you're just not good enough can be incredibly painful. But here's the thing, these feelings are often far from the truth. In fact, they're usually based on distorted thoughts and not reality. So let's explore 7 reasons why your feelings of unworthiness are false, and hopefully, by the end of this video, you'll start seeing yourself in a much kinder light. 1. You're holding yourself to unrealistic standards. One of the biggest reasons people feel unworthy is that they set the bar way too high for themselves. Imagine trying to jump over a bar that's set 10 feet in the air. No matter how hard you try, it's impossible to reach. But instead of lowering the bar to a reasonable height, you keep raising it, thinking that if you just try harder, you'll eventually make it. The truth is, you're often much harder on yourself than you are on others. You wouldn't expect a friend to be perfect, so why do you expect it from yourself? Everyone makes mistakes, has bad days, and falls short sometimes. That doesn't make you unworthy, it makes you human. We're all a work in progress, and it's important to recognize that growth comes from imperfection, not from chasing an impossible standard. You wouldn't tell a tree that it's not growing fast enough, or a river that it's flowing too slowly. Just like in nature, your progress takes time, and that's okay. Your worth isn't defined by how quickly you achieve something or how perfectly you perform. It's about the effort you put in and the lessons you learn along the way. 2. Your value isn't determined by external validation. It's easy to feel unworthy when you rely on other people's opinions to measure your value. Imagine you're holding a mirror, but instead of reflecting your true self, the mirror is constantly being adjusted by others. One day someone says you're doing great, and the mirror shows a bright, happy reflection. The next day someone criticizes you, and suddenly the mirror shows a dark, distorted version of yourself. This is what happens when you let external validation, or the lack of it, define your worth. But here's the thing, your value doesn't come from other people, it comes from within. Just because someone doesn't recognize your worth doesn't mean you don't have any. Think of it like a diamond. Whether people admire it or not, the diamond's value doesn't change. It's still precious, regardless of how others perceive it. So if you've been feeling unworthy because of criticism, rejection, or lack of praise from others, remember that their opinions are just like that distorted mirror. They don't reflect your true self. Your worth is inherent, and it doesn't fluctuate based on what others think or say. 3. You're overlooking your strengths. When you feel unworthy, it's easy to focus on everything you think you're doing wrong. But imagine you're in a room full of beautiful flowers, and you're only paying attention to the ones that are wilted or not blooming yet. You're completely ignoring the vibrant, healthy ones right in front of you. This is what happens when you overlook your strengths. You might be so focused on your perceived flaws or weaknesses that you fail to see all the amazing qualities you already have. Maybe you're a great listener, or you're incredibly kind, or you have a talent for solving problems. These are the flowers in your garden, the strengths that make you valuable, but if you're only looking at what's not perfect, you're missing out on seeing your full worth. Sometimes we get stuck in the habit of self-criticism, but it's important to take a step back and recognize the good things you bring to the table. You wouldn't walk into someone else's garden and only point out the weeds, so why do that to yourself? Acknowledge your strengths. They're a huge part of your worth. 4. Feeling unworthy often comes from comparing yourself to others. It's like being in a race where everyone's running on a different track, but you're constantly looking over at someone else's lane, wondering why they're ahead of you. But here's the thing, everyone's path is different. Some people might appear to be speeding ahead, but you don't know what obstacles they've faced, just like they don't know yours. Think of life like a unique jigsaw puzzle. Everyone has their own pieces to fit together, and some parts come together faster than others. Just because someone else's puzzle looks more complete doesn't mean yours is any less valuable. You're working with your own set of experiences, challenges, and strengths, and that's perfectly okay. When you stop comparing your progress to others and focus on your own path, you realize that your journey is valuable in its own right. It's not about how fast you get there or how your path looks compared to someone else's. It's about moving forward in your own way, at your own pace. 5. Your past mistakes don't define you. We all make mistakes, but when you're struggling with feelings of unworthiness, it can feel like your past failures are tattooed on your skin for everyone to see. It's as if every mistake you've made is a permanent part of who you are, defining your worth in the present. But that's not true at all. Imagine if you judged a book solely by one bad chapter. You'd miss out on the entire story, the growth, the redemption, and the beauty that comes after the mistakes. Your past mistakes are not the whole story of who you are. They're just a few moments in a much larger narrative. Yes, they've shaped you, but they don't define you. It's the lessons you've learned from those mistakes and how you've chosen to grow that matter far more than the mistakes themselves. You wouldn't judge a tree by the leaves it lost in autumn. In the same way, your worth isn't diminished by past failures. They're part of your growth, not a measure of your value. 6. You're comparing your inside to everyone else's outside. Social media, movies, and even everyday interactions can make it seem like everyone else has their life together while you're struggling. But that's like watching a highlight reel and assuming it's the full movie. You're seeing the best, most polished version of others, while you're living through your own behind-the-scenes chaos. Imagine walking into a beautiful house. Everything looks perfect. The furniture is in place, the decorations are flawless, and it seems like the homeowners have it all figured out. But what you don't see is the clutter behind the closet doors, or the effort it took to make everything look so perfect. The truth is, everyone has their own struggles and insecurities, but they don't always show it. When you compare your inner struggles to other people's outward appearance of success, it's easy to feel unworthy. But remember, you're only seeing a fraction of their reality. Everyone has their own mess behind the scenes, just like you, and that doesn't make them any more worthy or you any less so. 7. You're worthy simply because you exist. This might sound simple, but it's one of the most important truths to remember. You are worthy just because you exist. Think about the sun. Does the sun have to do anything special to be valuable? No. It's worthy just by being itself, shining, giving warmth and light. In the same way, your worth is not tied to what you achieve or how perfect you are. You are inherently valuable, just like the sun, simply by being here. Imagine holding a newborn baby. Does that baby need to prove its worth? Of course not. Its worth is evident just by being alive. You were that baby once, and nothing about your inherent value has changed. You don't need to earn your worth. You already have it simply because you are here, living, breathing, and experiencing life. If you ever doubt your worth, remember this. Your existence alone is proof that you are enough. If these reasons resonated with you, remember, your feelings of unworthiness are often distortions, not reality. You are enough just as you are, and your worth is undeniable. If this video helped you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need this message today. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.